Hola, and welcome back to Midnight Grappler Animals. I'm your host, Salt. I have a fine caballero with me today, Keigen, and only Keigen. Lan couldn't make it. He's got like a job or something. How you doing today, Keigen?
Sorry.
We're off to a great start.
Finishing a book that my friend asked me to read. This 100-year-old book that I'm reading for a podcast. I'm just finishing up right now.
You didn't finish it, did you?
I did, but like I skimmed a lot. I skimmed quite a bit.
So did I. You're good.
Okay, but no, I got to the end. I did get to the end.
Yeah.
Which we could talk about it. But no, yeah, I'm doing good. I'm happy. I like covering books for this for once. So
yeah, when's the last time we did a book?
The last time I did a book was that library one, which was technically not even a book, I think. But you did Treasure Island you did Three Musketeers.
I did. I want to get more pulp stuff in this.
I didn't do that one, but it's been a long time doing a book for me, so it's fun.
I will briefly talk about Three Musketeers. Yeah. We are back with more Zorro. It's Zorro month. Some quick news from me. I'm on antidepressants now, so we'll see if I'm normal today.
Okay, shouts. We love mental health.
I didn't get prescribed them for mental health reasons, is the irony.
Okay.
The doctor actually said my brain was too normal, but we're going to give these to you.
These shouts. That sounds like you sound like Donald Trump. I don't know. Yeah, you sound very presidential, I guess is what I'll say.
All right. That's cool. No, longtime listeners will know that my bowels are messed up. And I was talking to my doctor about it, and he said that actually antidepressants are one of the solutions for that.
Oh.
So we will see how that goes.
Shouts.
All right, we've talked about old dirty presidents. We've talked about bowels and medications. Let's get into the good stuff. Like I said, it's our Month of Zorro. That's what we should have called it. The Month of Zorro.
The Month of Zorro is pretty good.
The Month of Zorro. That makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for this got it in one, right? For this third installment of the Month of Zorro, we are covering the Mark of Zorro, the debut novel of Zorro, and one of author Johnston McCulley's creations, but not his first creation, which we'll also get into later. This book was originally published as The Curse of Capistrano in something titled like All Story Weekly. It was done in parts, and so I want to pause on that for a moment because that kind of represents like how different fiction is published today compared to the past.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, like that's just we could wait to get into that, but you could feel it in this book, and also just like we forget the classics that were originally serialized.
Yeah, and it's serialized in a way that I don't think you really get anymore unless you're reading floppy comics. It's the only thing I can think of that's similar.
Which it's messed up because I keep comparing Zorro to a superhero. Like
you should. That makes sense.
It's a thing that makes sense, but it also makes me. It's like a very obvious connection, but it's also like it keeps being reasonable to make. I'm like, damn it! I keep being the guy who only reads superhero comics.
Yeah. When we did Three Musketeers, we were talking a little bit about its publication, and like that's a book that was, I think, because that was published even further in the past, that was published in parts in like the newspaper, I believe.
Oh, that's sick.
And so, yeah, when you look at these old stories, I believe it's a fair assumption to make that the authors didn't always know like what they had already published, or they kind of like lost track of it.
Yeah. Like I'm not getting the newspaper out to figure out what I wrote 8 months ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. It's a pain in the ass. Like,
yeah, and a lot of those books are like that, where I think they start off really good and there's some really exciting points along the way, but a lot of them kind of meander in the middle. Treasure Island's like that, another book I really like. But yeah, we're gonna get into this book and Johnston McCulley and his other creations. But part of why I wanted to do the book as well was to look at the book's relationship to the films. Did you do any research on any of this?
No, I'm pure dummy on this one.
Great.
So that's gonna make
it's gonna make our game at the end very fun. There will be a game.
Awesome.
And I'm sad Lan won't be here because the game he would have been good at it, but alas,
he always is.
We'll move on. So this book is published in 1919, and the significance of that is that Douglas Fairbanks bought the rights to it almost right after it was published because it was so popular. He supposedly was on his honeymoon with his wife Mary, and they had kind of a deal with their new studio, United Artists, where they could pitch, like a big picture every year, and this was their pitch. So Douglas Fairbanks pitches this to United Artists, and he helps write the screenplay with Johnston McCulley, and the film's a huge success. We talked about it a little bit. This is the 1920 silent film, but it's so big that now there's demand for more Zorro. And with this book, you see that, like, I mean, if you read it like we did, you see that Zorro is not intended to be an ongoing character. And that's like a fascinating part of it, I think, is that this was just a one-off. He didn't necessarily expect to do more with it. So with the success of this film and the demand for more Zorro, I only want to pause on that to say that, like, you could almost see that as the rise of the superhero industrial complex before you even have what people would consider proper superheroes.
Right. No, I mean, and you played with that with the 40s one too. That review that was talking about pulp fatigue. Yeah. Where it's like, it is really it's like you can see the source of everything superhero here with the pulps in a really clear way. And I mean, if anything, it makes me way more interested in seeing what pulp is now in comics. Stuff like Grendel, I've never read. I know people love it, but I'm like, that's probably a really fascinating thing to look at it with comparison points of like Zorro, Batman, and then Grendel.
Because the character is a pulp author, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's so an interesting point.
But it's this thing that just like keeps going and influencing each other in these interesting ways. And like pulp hasn't had a real comeback, in a long time. And I think you could debate it, but it's interesting that it can't like ride the coattails of the superhero the way the superhero has just like completely dominated various parts of culture for like 80 years. It's crazy.
Yeah. There's a lot to unpack there. And with, I think you've got the superhero kind of taking the skin or the aesthetics of pulp. Mm-hmm. And so you can't necessarily try to do that again with pulp. Pulp after that then has to be something different.
Yeah.
And I don't know the genre well enough. It's like I'm really into Zorro and some swashbuckling heroes, but like I don't know a lot about like some of the pulpy like detectives and stuff. Right. I haven't read a lot of that old detective fiction.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to the publishing history. This book is originally published as Curse of Capistrano. It's republished as Mark of Zorro, and there's McCulley does like dozens of Zorro stories, basically till the end of his life. It's like stuff like Further Adventures of Zorro, Son of Zorro, all that. Some of that gets adapted into films pretty early on. And it's weird, I can't find that much about McCulley the guy, but it does seem like he... how do I phrase this? It does seem like McCulley enjoyed the successes of his creations significantly better, let's say, than your Siegels and Schusters, all the guys
for sure.
in comics, because like I think he was a script advisor for the Disney series, so he was probably getting some decent cash for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because like you look at all the betrayals in the comics industry on the like the worker standpoint, and it's like it's crazy how easy it would have been to make them happy, right? Up to more I think was asking, like, well, he was offered something that was not to be expected, right? And that not panning out from lying, right, from lying liars, is like a thing that's more complicated. But it's like a lot of these guys were expecting to just like work at a company until they died. That was what they wanted to do, and it was just like, just let me work on this thing in all of the ways that I can. And it's like, it's just funny. It's funny that like the corporations even
went out of their way to harm so many young creators.
Yeah, exactly, just for like no real good reason. And it's like you see it with Zorro, where it's just like, just give the dude work and a good wage, and they'll make a thing that will stand forever and will make you so much money. Like,
yeah, that is the difference between Zorro and the superheroes, I guess. Just that, like, this is where you can make a reasonable case for capitalism.
Right. All you have to do, like, I like my desk job, right? I like going in and just making enough money, as long as it's like, I know I can do a bad job if I'm overworked, right? Yeah. Like, that's all you have to give me. It's like, all right. And it's
don't
like,
overwork me too much.
It's crazy. Like, and I mean, I'm sure there's personalities all at the influence there too, where it was like, egos and clashing of egos and stuff like that. But it's truly just like, you just have to do a little bit for the guys, and we'll do it. It's crazy.
Yeah,
we'll give you Zorro. Like, it's okay.
We're gonna bounce around a little bit here. Like I said, this got a lot of adaptations, and I'll have to do more research into this, but the rights to Zorro are pretty complicated. On one hand, I've heard that you actually have to like request the rights. On the other hand, I've heard that he's public domain, but if you do your own version of Zorro, that you have to make it distinct in some way. So like,
that makes sense.
You couldn't make like a Mark of Zorro comic book, but like if you were to believe the accounts of Sean Murphy, he said he was able to do Zorro Man of the Dead, I believe that's what it's called, because that's a different title, right?
Right. So okay, I mean that, yeah.
But I don't know. Public domain can be complicated, and it can vary by region, and people have been sued for their various versions of Zorro.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely couldn't do like Mask of Zorro kind of stuff, right? Like you couldn't do the Legacy sequel and Daughter and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, public domain is weird. I think it kind of incentivizes you to almost make the character completely new, while like using some of the aspects of the early aspects of things. But it's like, I don't know, it's complicated, and then it also isn't, because it's like, if I could use the character Zorro, it's like, it's fun in the Greek mythology way of, you could just add a chapter to Zorro's story, basically, like. You could just make a new Zorro story that isn't the beginning, just takes place after he's already known as Zorro, and it's like, oh yeah, it's probably possible, probably easy to do.
Shall we jump into the book itself?
Happy to do so.
All right. This is a pretty quick read. It's 170 pages about. I read part of it during jury duty and would read on the bus and stuff. Very easy to like just jump right in and read however many pages. Check out again.
Super short chapters too, so it's like,
some chapters like 3 pages.
Yeah.
Um, it's a pretty simple story. I mean, we're introduced to Zorro and Diego very early on. What's pretty striking, if you're used to all the Zorro stories, is it's not explained right away that they're the same guy. It's like a big reveal at the end. And I do wonder, like, how many readers went, whoa, when they got there.
I want to meet those people. Like it's impossible for us to be able to experience that way anyway. So I don't know. I could be that dumb guy. But like, yeah, the book, it doesn't do anything to relate the two, but it's also like, Don Diego left, Zorro appeared. So like, I don't know.
Hey, he has IBS. That's why he always had to dip out.
Oh, it's good.
The story's pretty simple. I mean, Zorro has been fighting the Spanish troops, and he cites them as being, corrupt and thieving, and particularly their treatment of Indians. I do feel like the Zorro stuff often is backseat to the Diego stuff. Like it does feel like the biggest plot in here is Diego's courtship of the Polito young girl.
Yeah, totally. I don't think the actual conflict that Zorro is fighting is spelled out very well. Like, it's kept really simple. He's giving to the poor. He's robbing from the rich and giving to the poor. Like it's really not. There's not a complicated governorship. There's not even really like he wants to change power. Really, it's like this one captain's an asshole, and I'm running around trying to create a difference, cause a difference.
Well, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, if you say like he doesn't want to challenge power, that's like a good place where you can really analyze the sort of bizarre politics of it. I mean, culturally, when it came out, I think people back then, the past was more recent to them. And apparently, like, some critics said that this might as well be on Mars because of like how many different eras it's combining.
Right.
But I also think it doesn't matter too much that the history is kind of fluid.
Yeah, I mean, I think that lends it a sort of like, well, I mean, it's more mythological, right? It's more like, it's more metaphorical, and you can grab onto it a little. I mean, it definitely gives it more staying power, I think, because it's just like, oh, this is made up anyway. I don't have to open up a history book.
But Zorro is like almost the ultimate lib, I would say, because
hell yeah.
Like, I'm really trying to figure out like, and it, if you look at it too closely, get too worked up about it, you're just crazy. But it is funny to think about like what is going to appeal to people without being too out there, for readers in 1919. And like, he's constantly on the troops for how they're mistreating Indians. Like that's what he's saying over and over again. But the sort of elephant in the room, as it were, is the fact that the Diego family is very rich themselves and prosperous, and it's made explicitly clear that they have servants, and they probably have Indians working for them too. And these are indigenous people, but in the book they're referred to as Indians. So I'll just say what the book says. Oh
yeah, my version says natives a lot.
Wow.
Yeah,
right.
So I don't know what edit this is. It does say natives though, but it's homeboy.
Mark of Zorro racist version. That's what I got.
Yeah, you have the non-woke version. I have the libtarded version.
Racist in huge letters.
You didn't realize. It's from the library, I swear. There's nothing available. No, man. Do you he's not huge in the book, but Don Diego's homeboy Bernardo, what a character. Did you take note of Bernardo?
So I took note of Bernardo before I read the book because fortunately He was excised from the 1940 version, and I didn't watch all of the 1920 version, but having seen other versions of the movie before I read the book, I got a little too used to going, why is there a deaf guy following Zorro around? This is too woke. I don't want people with disabilities.
Deaf mute. Yeah, he's a DEI hire. For one, they were trying to get those tax breaks from the government. It's incredible. Like, yeah, he's it's almost like a minstrel kind of character who just appears suddenly out of nowhere. Absolutely. And then gets referenced every once in a while, where he's just a racist caricature to like point and laugh at every once in a while, which is like, it really is kind of like the racism in general, but that specific kind of racism is the only thing that really dates this, I think.
Especially because the character doesn't really add anything. Nothing. Zorro just asks him.
He doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
He lays in front of the door to guard it. That's what he does, I think.
There's more allusions to other older works we're going to talk about, but like, have you seen any Three Musketeers movies?
I haven't seen any of them. Like not even like the cartoon.
So something in the original book that is mostly cut from most film versions is they basically all have slaves, all four of the Musketeers.
Sure. Yeah. It is what it is.
And like, the book often goes out of their way to talk about how like greedy these poor slaves. It's just like, these old pulp swashbuckling authors had to get that in,
Hey, racism's real. And I mean, that is kind of a thing too. Like I'm not saying Bernardo existed, but like Don Diego existed and he had slaves. So it's like, do you get rid of the slaves? No, don't get rid of the slaves. And yeah, I mean, it's a good historic thing to experience, like that art just did this.
Yeah.
Like, for no reason. And it's crazy. And I think like, this is one of the things, like my friends, they're the right age to be nostalgic over the Phantom Menace, right? And like every once in a while we'll have the conversation about Jar Jar. And I'm like,
right.
You just have to trust people from 99 that it was incredibly racist, I think. Like, we were kids. We didn't understand that Jar Jar was racist. He was a funny, goofy guy. But, like, critics were tearing it apart about Jar Jar because he was a racist. He was a minstrel show, right? And it's like...
Have you...
sorry, just like three seconds and then you can ask. It's just, you experience it this way and it's like, oh, it's way more obvious what Jar Jar was. And even if George was putting it in as a not even really as a reference, but just like, these are what cartoons were like when I was a kid. It's like, well, it's part of it helps you understand the arc of racism. Yeah, George, exactly.
Have you seen...
Don't make racist things.
Have you seen the Disney series about that? About like the rise of ILM?
I've only watched this first season, which is like the first 6 episodes, and I think the second season is 3.
So the second season mostly doesn't need to exist. You can feel that like they got the order to do it. Like, oh, okay, we got to come up with something, right? And I think this is in the second season, not the first season, but there's like a pretty protracted arc in that series about like the creation of Jar Jar and the actor whose name escapes me. I think it's Ahmad something.
Ahmed Best.
Yeah. Ahmed Best. He's alleging that the character was based on his type of dance routines and like his comedy. So like he felt so hurt that people called it racist, right? And like I'm not saying like that's correct. I really don't know if this is damage control or what, but it's really fascinating that like they put that so like front and center.
No, I mean, I think the whole Jar Jar thing is fascinating because of like disconnect and people not like millennials, not in general, maybe not even in general, but like my friends who are millennials not understanding the racism of Jar Jar, even though it was so well understood at in 1999. It's fascinating. Like all of it is. It's a whole like really interesting cultural conversation. That is just like how much of it is just not watching anything from before the 80s, right? Like how many explanations could we have for it? And then there's Jar Jar on his own, which is like how many of the people creating the character didn't understand the legacy behind it is crazy. But yeah, I should watch the rest of the ILM thing because it's been, well, I don't know. I don't even have Disney Plus. I don't know how I would watch it. Anyway.
Well, listeners, this is a call-in type of program, not call-out. So I don't want you to mercilessly mock Keigen. I want you to congratulate him for going an entire episode in the Zorro series without mentioning Star Wars. But we're on our third entry, and he had to get his Star Wars tisms in.
It's either, yeah, I'm a guy who only reads superhero comics or a guy who only knows Star Wars. Those are the two settings. I'm a switch. It is 0 or 1, and I somehow got both of them in this time.
Back to the politics of Zorro, just because it's fascinating. It's like what you want to look at, like what would be aspirational to people of the time, right? And Zorro has a lot of appeal to me for multiple reasons, but one of those reasons is he is this like progenitor to superheroes. But then the natural next question to ask is like, well, who's the progenitor to Zorro? And there's a few different answers to that, but one of them arguably is the Scarlet Pimpernel. Are you familiar with this character?
Not even a little bit.
So the Scarlet Pimpernel is, by some accounts, the first superhero. And there's a lot to unpack there that makes the character unique. For one, I find it noteworthy that the Scarlet Pimpernel is based on a woman. Written by a woman. The character himself, though, I don't believe uses any masks or like proper superhero costumes, but he has this alias of the Scarlet Pimpernel, right? So he'll like leave like a calling card that the Scarlet Pimpernel was here, and he will use disguises, right? But they kind of cycle. Yeah. Now, the reason I bring up the Scarlet Pimpernel, though, is you're gonna love this, Keigen. He's not fighting like mafiosos or cartels or crooked businessmen. He's a character. He was written by an English woman who centuries after the French Revolution, and he is an aristocrat who goes out of his way to save other aristocrats that are about to be executed by
No.
I knew you'd love it.
Oh my God. The mind of these people.
This was a huge deal in England at the time. It was this really successful stage play.
Ridiculous. That's ridiculous. We talk about how conservative superheroes are, but you know what? I'm happy we have wrestled art away from rich people. Okay, rich people aren't allowed to make art. We're done. We're done with that. This is a working class thing. I don't care if it still ends up capitalism still means that we're serving them. I don't care. How dare they? How dare they?
Baroness Orczy is her name. That's the writer.
Horrible. You know what? It does explain. The political arc for superheroes is well explained there. I'm disgusted though. I'm so angry.
I knew you'd like that.
I thought you were going to say something funny, like she hunted French frogs, like just very, very racistly. But unfortunately, it's down with the bourgeoisie. We need to do something about this. The left is superhero.
This Zorro, man.
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah, but it's not. He's not necessarily the primary inspiration, because I mentioned Scarlet Pimpernel because he's kind of this effete dandy, but there were other characters like that. There's a character called the Baron Hashtegi, an outlaw who robs local people during the night. That's just a bad man, I guess. But there had been other characters who had this double life.
How old is Robin Hood? That's real old, right?
Robin Hood goes back centuries.
Yeah, Robin Hood's real old, which, I mean, Zorro is building on Robin Hood in a very real way.
I think the biggest difference is that Robin Hood doesn't have the alter ego, right?
Yeah.
But Zorro does have essentially his own merry gentleman.
Yeah. No, that is one of the crazy things here. Like, the band doesn't like happen in either of the movies we watched.
Yeah, I think it happens in like the third or fourth movie.
Okay. Yeah.
But how crazy was it when he goes, and we'll call ourselves the Avengers?
So funny. I was like, okay. We all know Stanley is a hack, but
that level of hack.
That level of hack, but also I'm like, is it that he's just a hack, or is it that these two guys are equally stupid? Right? It's like, it could go either way. Yeah, the Avengers is very funny. I laughed at that because I'm like, really, this is what we're doing. Like, as in us, Midnight Grappler Animals, we are talking about the Avengers. But that whole part is hilarious too, because it's like this group of adventurous caballeros hanging out, drinking wine, and Zorro shows up and he's like, "Hey, join me," and they do. I'm like, that is the mind of the American, you know. If you're like 90% drawn to being an extremist, you just need a guy to be like, hey, this way, and it works. Like, whatever guy taps you on the shoulder first you're there now, you know?
Well, I mean, to date this episode, there was that viral video of that like extremely apolitical looking guy in New Jersey who was like crying or trying not to cry about like ICE kidnapping kids. Like that's basically who Zorro recruited.
Yeah, exactly. He's just like, give him some wine. Get his dad to give him some wine. And it's like, hey,
dude,
be my gang.
Speaking of wine, that's my big brain theory here, which is that the reason Zorro is so successful at being Zorro is because every character in this novel is constantly sloshed.
Yeah.
Dude, everyone, it's like, oh, I've been on the trail for a while on my horse. I could use some wine. I just woke up after a night of sleep. Give me some wine. I just got stabbed in the shoulder. Give me some wine.
Okay. Yeah. It's so funny. It's like, I think every chapter refers to wine. Like, was this published? Was this serialized in some like wine magazine or something? Like, it's like, if you want to be healthy, drink a lot of wine. This is like a vineyard owner trade magazine. It's like in the back, you're like browsing the barrels and all the things you could buy. It's like, oh, the further adventures of Zorro. Zorro is pretty professional,
cool. The outlaw sommelier.
Yeah, if I want to be cool like Zorro, I better drink wine at every opportunity and any inconvenience. The answer is a bottle of wine. A cask of wine.
I don't think anyone ever drank water.
No other drink. There's no milk. There's no water. There's no beer even.
And I think the only food they ever eat is like cakes and toast.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and it's funny too because that in the 40s movie, you know, the whole retired to California on my vineyard with my wine, and it's like, yeah, that's the picture of California, man. Like, you're gonna be drinking wine, buddy. Come on over.
Get ready, start speaking Spanish, buddy.
Yeah.
Speaking of the coming over from Spain, that is something I want to briefly touch upon. Zorro has lived in California his whole life in the book, but that was a change I think they made in the 1920 film first. But yeah, I mean, the character went through a bunch of changes due to the films, and I think in the book, this book, he's called Diego, or
yeah, Diego
Vega, but
Vega.
in everything after, he's Diego de la Vega. And it's a little thing, but I am always fascinated by like characters' debuts being a little bit different than like what we expect.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this was like very quickly was my take on the book too, because like, well, for one thing, I think those early chapters are written very much like a stage play. They're not formatted that way, but it's like, it's very dialogue and then important actions and then dialogue and then important actions, right? Almost like stage directions. And it's like the whole thing, like Zorro works better in motion, right? Like whether you want to do like a stage play, Zorro would be awesome. That would be very fun. But like a movie or a cartoon makes way more sense. And like even more, to your point earlier, it's like the actual point of this is a romance book that has some pulp and, bandito elements. But like this works better live action. And like, I really like when an adaptation figures out the material too.
Yeah.
And this is one of those cases where it's like, it's cool that I'm really happy the order of the way I experienced Zorro, where it's like, okay, cool, the best movie, and then the older 1940s movie, and now the book. It's like, yeah, no, this got figured out. Probably like it got figured out before the 40 film, but like it got figured out in adaptation, and like that rules. It's so cool that when something can like live beyond its original source and that it actually improves, it's awesome, and it's fun to like see that.
Yeah, I'm glad you said it like that. I couldn't have said it better. Yeah, the character is almost not complete until you get to the very first film. And aesthetically too, that's true, because like in the book, he's constantly referred to as having this mask that covers his entire face,
like a whole mask, and it would be it's so silly.
Oh, I mean, we're going to get sillier, right? Because, like, remember, he drinks the wine and he has to, like, lift the mask partially to, like, keep covering his face, but also drink the wine.
Yeah, it's like a Spider-Man
it's just so
mask.
funny. So, well, but with Spider-Man, at least, like, he can kind of roll it up. Like, I don't imagine this as, like, I don't know, maybe it was like a Spider-Man mask. That would be cool. There is a silent film called The Black Rider. Or The Masked Rider that actually has a guy with my
boy, my man.
He has a mask like that. But what you would see in like some Zorro adaptations, and even in like the covers of the old books, it was like Ibrahim said, it was kind of that grifter style mask. But it's in that first silent film that he has kind of the domino style mask just covering the eyes, and like that works a lot better for how we imagine him, right?
Yeah.
The other funny costume bit too is that he's not wearing all black in this book. Like, some of those Mexican style clothings that the Spaniards would wear are like kind of fruity, so it's very fun to imagine him wearing this like big old, really colorful,
ruffly, colorful. Yeah. I know, like the constant mentioning sombreros. I'm like, that's like a chillin' hat. This isn't like a battle hat,
Right.
Hey, I'm hanging out. I'm doing siesta. Like, what's going on?
All right. Well, I think we covered most of the book. I mean, like I said, a lot of it is about Diego's challenges, like trying to marry this girl. He's pretending to be this very like tired dandy. I guess the only other thing I would say for the book is like in the adaptations we've seen and what we come to expect from action stories and superheroes is that the villain has like a big plan that has to be foiled, and that's mostly absent here. It seems like the climax is the villains kidnap the Polito family, and Zorro breaks them free and then has to fight off the guys. But even the villains breaking the Polito family is just the villains getting annoyed at Zorro. It's not like their big plan or anything.
Yeah, I mean, the villains are weirdly reactive in this, right? Like Zorro is the primary.
Because they just wanted to hang out and drink.
They were just trying to chill, man. Like, it's great. Like the in the 40s movie has like the taxation stuff and the like, oh, he's a worse leader than my dad was, and the people are not happy.
Yeah,
with it.
you get a greater sense of unrest in that film. That's a good point.
This has none of that. Like, it's just guys, and Zorro's like running around making them stressed out. Like this guy is doing stuff. And then they like whip the Frey, whatever they call him in the book, and it's like, I don't fully understand. Like it really is just like stuff happening in order, which is fine. It was a fun read still, but it's just the kind of thing that's like, I don't. The bad guy is really just like Zorro is a bee in his bonnet, and that's it. It's like a cartoon, and. Like, it would be fun to see a straightforward adaptation of this for that reason. It's just like, whatever. Like,
what I would really want in the adaptation is, I think one of the funniest things in the book is after they start getting their ass kicked by Zorro enough times, they start saying that Zorro has a band of dudes.
So funny, yeah.
And it's before he even has the guys, right? And then the number steadily goes up, which is really funny, too.
Yeah, because
he was with 5 men. He was with 10 men. He was with 20 men.
Yeah. No, and then like in the end they go, we were lying about that. We lied about it enough that it became true.
Yes, I would want that acknowledged in some way, or like, or you could have Diego going, "That's a good idea. I should have some guys with me."
No, it's just I do love how like really I love how easy it is for him to get guys though. Where it's just like, hey.
He gives one speech and they're like, "Good point."
You're right. Like, we don't. Why would we like them? Like,
yeah,
it's so funny. Oh, yeah, fun time.
Yeah, fun read. I would be curious to check out the later books, probably to see how he refines the character in his writing. But like you said, I think the character really comes into his own with the movies. Yeah,
I think the character really comes into his own when Sean Gordon Murphy gets his hands on him. That's got to be the real.
I mean, I'm already thinking about that, right? Because it's like you can make the case for like this book's politics in a few different directions, but like what it does have going for it is that the imperial rule has gone too far. Now, Zorro doesn't necessarily want to overthrow the imperial rule,
but something needs to happen.
But something needs to happen, and it's the imperialists that are the problem. And I am curious to see how Mr. Murphy decides to roll with that, because I have a suspicion it's something else.
I think about this a lot. This like. Not just, and it's not only adaptation. Sometimes it's just a thing continuing where it gets figured out, it gets manipulated, it changes into something that's like different but still cool. I think one thing I would think of that is like the Hulk, right? Hulk starts off Jekyll and Hyde, and like by the 2000s you get Planet Hulk, where he's this like cosmic world breaker, crazy superhero action, right? And then Al Ewing gets a hold of him and brings him back to the beginning more, right? Brings it back to that more horror element, that more Jekyll and Hyde stuff. And like comics have such a like they place the origin on the pedestal. They place the early stories on the pedestal, and these creators do it, and the critics do it, right? You hear about, oh, Superman was a socialist in his original stories, and it's like, well, he was just as likely to throw a dude off a building as he was to like psychotically hypnotize Lois Lane for whatever reason, right? So it's like there's no like pure politics in any of these things in the beginning. But I would love to know what Sean Gordon Murphy has to think about the beginnings of Zorro.
Well, listeners, if you are also equally curious and want to ride on your horse with us on that adventure. That was a good one. That's a good horse sound. Sub to the Patreon. We'll very likely be covering that book there for a bonus episode in our
for the month
of Zorro. All right. Well, I've said everything I need to say about the book. Like I said, I do have a game I'm ready to play.
Oh, gosh.
Anything else you want to get out there before the game?
No, I think I'm good. This was a good amount of time to talk about this book.
Sweet. All right. Well, here's the game. Johnston McCulley, as we alluded to, had written other characters before Zorro and wrote other characters after Zorro. He was quite a prolific writer, and an argument could be made that some of his other characters besides Zorro influenced other pulp heroes and superheroes, including characters like the Shadow, for example. But he made a lot of these guys, and I want to see how familiar you are on a purely vibes-based basis. So I'm going to read you a list of names, and every time I read you a name, I want you to say real or fake, because some of these are real McCulley creations, and the others are guys that I made up wholesale.
Awesome.
Are you ready? You ready to rock?
Let's do this.
Okay, I need to keep score for you somehow, because you're gonna win something. We'll figure that out later. All right, so our first character, the Black Star, real or fake?
Fake.
Fake. All right, you have -1 point.
Damn it.
I think that's actually Macaulay's one of his earliest creations, and he's like he's kind of a super criminal.
Oh, okay.
All right. So Keigen has -1, folks. Hopefully he can turn this around. Next we have the Demon. Real
That's
or
real.
fake?
That's real.
You got it. That is real. What about the Green Ghost?
Real?
That is also real.
Okay.
So you now have 1 point. All right. Next, the Avenging Twins. Real or fake?
Fake.
That is real. You have 0 points again. All right. What about the Spectral Paladin?
I'm gonna double down and say fake.
Ooh, nice. All right, you have 1 point again. All right, so Keigen has 1 point. Let's see how he fares with this next one. The Bat.
Real.
Keigen's got 2 points.
New high score.
Scarlet Scourge.
Fake.
Keigen, you have 1 point. You just lost your point.
No high score anymore. My high score's gone.
Dr. Unknown.
Real.
That is also fake.
Damn it. I just, we need Zorro.
Yeah,
I need whoever has points. I need him to take them from them and give them to me.
All right. What about the Mongoose?
Fake.
I'm sorry, that was real. You now have negative points.
It's okay.
All right. What about
real?
that one?
Got me good.
That one's so unfair. It's
a bike.
So stupid. All right. What about the Blue Buccaneer?
Real?
Sorry, I made that one up.
The alliteration. I guess that's more early Marvel's hero.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I believe you can save this.
Debilitating.
What about Madam Madcap?
Fake.
I'm sorry, that's real.
Okay. My gut can't be trusted.
Do not trust yourself. This is
I've
all
proven very
very
well that I cannot trust myself.
I'm going to pause briefly on Madame Madcap because I didn't research most of these characters, but I did look up her, and I think you would love this character if she got a proper reboot.
Okay.
Madame Madcap is a story about the twin daughters of a crime syndicate, and the other members of the crime syndicate, all the like upper level guys, they betray the twins' father and kill him to take his fortune. Then the twins alternate playing this masked vigilante to pick off the other former crime syndicate members one by one to get their family money back.
That's awesome. We love women. We love criminals. We love evil women.
I was like, this is all of
come
Keigen's
back.
ingredients.
Fujimoto. This is your next story, okay?
Yeah,
you can make horrible
update
women.
this century-old story.
Make sure they're horrible. This is the key. They need to be awful. Very stinky.
Well, there's racism in there, so yeah, of course. All right. Speaking of women, what about the Trigger Woman?
I can't be trusted. So real.
Fake.
Damn it. I can't be trusted. New low score every time.
Yeah, we're real low here. What about the Rollicking Rogue?
Okay. You can't be real. Fake.
I'm sorry, the Rollicking Rogue is real. And
Oh my God.
even more unfortunately, the Rollicking Rogue is my current Discord profile picture.
Oh, hey, Shouts. What's up, dude?
He's a guy who
Met
would
him.
put on like a priest robe and a Satan mask and then like rob people.
That's awesome. That's a good one. That should come back too.
A lot of these are pretty rad, actually.
That guy should go after ice, you know?
Yeah, I'll read that. All right, well, Keigen lost with like negative 30 points, but
Yeah.
I had fun. I had fun making up some fake names.
That was great. That was real good.
Yeah, glad you enjoyed. We'll bring back real or fake in a future game.
Real or fake is fun.
Well, folks, this is our third installment of the Month of Zorro. We got more movies coming back. Possibly my favorite movie. It's very hard to pick my favorite, but I'm very, very much
Or
of
your
the
favorite of
Zorro
Zorro.
films.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Because Mask of Zorro whips like that. That movie rules. But this movie's a different kind of fun, and we'll get there when we get there.
Weird is a different kind of good too, you know?
Mm-hmm. Until then, a few things to tell you. First, like we said, get on the Patreon. We have not only the bonus episodes for this series, but for other shows. We'd love to see you there. You can get in the Discord, make suggestions, yell at us, all that good stuff. And follow us on the socials. You can find all of that in the episode description. But before we go, we have one more feature, and that is our Tastemakers Grab Bag, where we can have you... told you I'd do something weird today, where we will tell you things we were enjoying. Oh gosh, flub. Yeah. Keigen, what do you got?
I have one it's not fully going in the grab bag. It's just I spent so much time with it that I have to mention it. Ghosts of Yote. It is a fun time. I'm not saying it's garbage or anything like that. It's just also there's just so much. There's so much game there. And I feel like I have more complaints than I do praises for the game. But I did play it for a very long time, and I killed the bad guys that needed to be killed in the game and finished it last night. It's cool. I'm very excited to watch Lady Snowblood, as it was recommended to me by Salt and somebody else in the Discord. So I will be watching that and probably enjoying it this week. So that, and then as everybody should know by now, this first half of the new Bridgerton season came out, and it rules. It's great. There's some hatred for the bourgeoisie here, and I'm living for it. Okay. And I also, Bridgerton, I think, in terms of like me including in the grab bag, is just very similar for me quality as Reacher. It's like the same exact thing, but a different genre. And it's just like a genre that's executed really well. Watch Bridgerton. Stop being dumb babies. Go watch Bridgerton, is what I'm saying. And that's it for me.
I think my girlfriend went to the theater to see that.
Oh, that's fun.
There was like a movie, right?
No, wait. Are you thinking of Downton Abbey?
See, I'm horrible. If it's British, it all just gets rolled.
Yeah, fair.
Thing for me.
No, you know what? I always prove that. You know what I don't get. Why are we friends with them? You know, like how'd that happen? Like it should be fuck you forever. You know? How did that get repaired? How'd that bridge get built?
My very boring, very most simple answer is that Britain had a lot of architecture for a surveillance state for many centuries, all the way back to the East India Company. So the post-World War II world order is surveillance. Whoever has the most surveillance wins. And, you've got...
Had to be homies.
Yeah, you've got the beginning of the CIA and the FBI, and you've got a lot of the German surveillance state completely upheld, goes right back into power. So I think it was just like, well, we're the Western powers and we want to defeat communism. We're friends again.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
And I don't know. Maybe we were good friends with them before World War II. I don't know.
Yeah. World War I allies was still, that had happened. But I'm guessing Civil War era, it was like, well, whatever, you guys shut the fuck up. Like we're doing our imperialism right here. Like this is where we're doing ours. You guys can have the rest of the world. Fuck off. But once the U.S. had to be a actual world stage, it was like, yeah, our allies are going to be Britain. But anyway. It's always okay to say fuck you to Turf Island, is what I say.
Exactly. I have a lot of movies that I will be recommending. I rewatched one of my favorite films, Brotherhood of the Wolf by Christoph Gans. He unfortunately has an addiction to directing bad Silent Hill movies. So the most recent Silent Hill film that a lot of people hated, don't judge his other work based on that.
What a cool addiction, though. If you're going to be addicted to something, man, take money from studios and make a bad movie. That's great.
He's done it like twice now. I don't understand.
Too many times. One is already too many times. Like
they both were like critically panned. It's like, brother, you got to do something else.
Brotherhood
of the Wolf, though, is one of my favorite movies. It is based on a real historical event of a bizarrely large wolf-like creature terrorizing the French countryside, and no one knows what's going on.
What?
Well, because they never really figure out what the creature is. And it's a beautiful film. I never played Bloodborne, but did you play Bloodborne?
No, I'm too scared. I'm not good enough at games.
Apparently, this game is like the main inspiration for that game's fashion, because they wear like really cool like jackets and hats in this movie. I mentioned Treasure Island. I'm a big Treasure Island fan. I watched a 1990 adaptation directed by Charlton Heston's son. It also had, because Charlton Heston stars as John Silver. It also stars Oliver Reed and Christopher Lee in the beginning as a couple of pirates, and 15-year-old Christian Bale as Jim Hawkins. I thought it was sick. Probably one of the best adaptations I've seen. And then last movie I'll recommend is, we've talked a lot about John Woo recently. I finally watched Hard Boiled and I loved it.
Nice.
Very unsafe looking film, which means I adored it.
Yeah. Sick.
All right. That's it. Thanks for getting on the dusty Mexican trail with us. We'll be back next time. That sounded sexual. I am so sorry. That won't be happening again.
Wink.
We will be back soon with more
Where's
Zorro.
the wine?
Oh, I've been stabbed. Give me some wine.
Trying to get some grapes.
Until then, adios, muchachos, and
Keep on grappling.